So pretty much I took like maybe a day or two hiatus, and this is the GTX 970 we tested in the last part. It is a great graphics card. We did one using Heaven test, and looks like the graphics card does fine. To be honest, what we're going to do is probably going to start cleaning it today. After that, we have one more brand new case to use up, which is this Matrix 55. It's the mesh version because we bought one with glass in part one and one with mesh because I wanted to see the difference between the two cases. But anyways, let's crack this open and I'm gonna start building. Okay, so currently the computer is complete. You can see here, it's like this. And then they add in the graphics card and the hard drive, and that's about it. This thing's a bit dirty, so we have to definitely give this a clean. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. Anyways, let's cut to our montage. So pretty much right now, yes, the computer is built, but pretty much I'm gonna go learn some programming, play around with HTML, maybe some Flask, and try to figure out how to do web scrubbing off dynamic websites. Anyways, that's my nerd crap, but we'll head back to this computer in a later time, and I'll cut to this right now. Okay, so currently right now we have to take the photos for the GTX 970 PC, and off camera I did some testing in Call of Duty Warzone. The thing plays pretty well. I'm pretty sure Techie City said something about this WindForce G1 gaming card being clocked a little bit higher. I'll put that quote if I can find it right now. I can't find it. Anyways, that's pretty much all we need to do is take photos of this thing, write a description, and list it. But the first thing, we're gonna peel off the brand new tape, ASMR style. And we can install the side panel and I can start taking the photos. So pretty much reinstalled on the computer. This is probably the last computer of the season. It really depends on what I feel like, if I want to do more computer flipping, because I'm trying to learn more new skills. But this computer just sold as a GTX 970. Let's see, let's do a last test. Let's turn this thing on. This computer sold for $850, which will be driving to Albany. The good thing about that is that I'll also be in the area to do some photography, as it's kind of very close to the end of 2021, and I'm being prepared to do. I did some nightscape photography last night, and today I'm do some planning for Harbour Bridge photography. But I don't know what I really want you to do for photography, but just getting some good ideas for photography in the city. So it's pretty much on the way. Just easily drop it off. Computer works fine. That's good. Let's shut it down and let's hit the road. Okay, so this is actually the finale of Season 3 of Joseph Zhang Floats PCs. And yes, there will be a Season 4, I can confirm to you right now, there will be a Season 4. But anyways, apart from any more updates I have to give about Season 4, let's go and let's look at the results. So before you guys skip this probably 20-minute long video, let's quickly go over the results of the season. So the first PC we sold, this PC was a Deepcool Matrix 40, had a Deepcool Matrix 40 case, an i5 4519, 60GB of RAM, 128GB SSD, GTX 1050 Ti. This is the PC that we shipped all the way down to New Plymouth, I believe. And let's just say it was an interesting experience, as this was the first computer I've ever shipped out. And frankly, I don't really do shipping. I actually don't ship things out much anymore, because first thing first is that most of the cases I buy are used, and when you buy used cases, you don't actually have a box for it. I could technically fabricate my own box, but it's always good to ship it in the original manufacturer's box. That computer cost us $640, including shipping, and we sold it for $920, so a profit of $280. And $280 for a computer is really, really good. And at the tail end of Season 4, when you watch Season 4, the profit goes down significantly. due to the market crashing. And that's something I foresee in the future, where the market will crash and the cost of PC prices will also crash a bit. Okay, so the next thing I sold, this is another first. This is the first PC I dropped off. I believe this was the first time I actually dropped off a PC or even done anything in my Tesla Model 3. The second PC had the same i5 4590 base, 16GB RAM, 1TB hard drive, 120GB SSD, and this time I had a GTX 1060. In total, it cost us $605 to build, and we sold it for $880 with drop-off, and that's a profit of $275. In this case, we got the GTX 1060 for ultra dirt cheap, and that's why the cost of this PC was legitimately around the price, maybe around about $30 above the price of a GTX 1050 Ti PC, although the GTX 1060 performed probably, I don't know, 30-40% better, which is some really, really good value. The third PC that we sold was a Deepcool Matrix 40. The funniest thing about this PC was the buyer was legitimately wearing the same shirt as me. I'll put a video on screen right now. I have 2 pairs of that shirt, which is so funny. It's a cheap Kmart shirt, and if you know me on a personal level, you know that I personally hate luxury brands. Well, frankly, I can't afford luxury brands. I personally hate luxury brands and luxury brands in general, because frankly, it is just a fucking fashion statement and a waste of money. But that's a completely different video, if it will be a video. And pretty much, I sold this computer for $780. It cost me $575 to build, and the profit was around about $205. That's around about $70 less than the other computer. But that computer has gone all the way up north to Kai Tire for his 14-year-old son. I'm also 14. So the fourth PC we sold, I can't, how much PCs do we sell? To be honest, I sell so many PCs now that I can't even remember how much PCs. So the fourth PC I sold, and by the way, in this season, due to Black Friday, we had the same Matrix 40, Matrix 50, MSI Mag, Vamp, some other case brand, and pretty much like this is probably this season 4 is gonna be a boring season. Like frankly, PC flipping from season 2 to season 3 really made a turn from season 2 to season 3, where I started employing the use of i5 4590 PCs, because frankly it was cheaper and it was a reliable way to get them. And that's for the business side of PC flipping is actually really good, because frankly you can buy a bunch of parts, easily assemble them and sell them at a really quick pace. Like I could probably go through 20-30 computers in one holiday, in a whole 6-week holiday in the next season, most likely, because of this high volume. But that really takes away from the entertainment side of Joseph Zhang Flips PCs, because when you guys watch this video, you don't want to see, I don't feel like you guys would want to watch me just build PCs. But I don't think you guys want to watch me build PCs just by taking an i5 4590 out, a CPU out, checking in a new case that I just bought off from TradeMe or bought from PB Tech, or I buy like 8 graphics cards and then I call it a day. Let's go look at the fourth PC we sold. And this guy scammed me, technically. Frankly, do not trust anyone on Facebook. To be honest, I don't really give a shit. So pretty much, this is the same i5 4590 PC. I put a picture on the screen of all the computers. And a 1TB hard drive, 128GB SSD, and a GTX 980. So this computer had a GTX 980. It was a pretty big bottleneck. It was severely bottlenecked, frankly. Bottlenecking this computer so that we can use the GPU's power for streaming. So pretty much this thing can still stream at about 120 FPS while gaming, and also stream at like 60 FPS to YouTube, which is a really good balance. A person paid me $900 up front, and he told me he'll pay me $100 by Christmas. That never happened. And he just ghosted me. So tip to you, I'm probably taking the advice from the video, never trust anyone on Facebook. Frankly, fuck you if you're watching this video. Frankly, scamming people is not good. Don't do that. So the next PC was the MSI Mag Vampric 100L. I had that case I really legitimately dissed. Okay, so while building this computer, the most expensive case was this MSI case. And yet, this is the worst case I've ever built into. I mean, the worst case.
My point is, they kind of figured out how to plug in an SSD caddy because number one, I couldn't even put it in without the plastic thing bulging out. What the frick?
In that video, I legitimately raged at this MSI case for being terrible. Frankly, I put this case with the MSI, this case with the Aerocool Bolt and with the Silverstone Pharaoh R1. Those are cases I would just genuinely avoid. If you could get a case, frankly, I'd rather choose use NZXT over any of those crap Chinese pieces of shit. Anyways, so pretty much, this computer made the most profit because I built this computer with an i5-6500 and a motherboard and CPU combo. It was given to me for free by my editor. Although it wasn't the best thing in the world, it had its issues. Yeah, it had some weird shorting issues. It didn't turn on half the time, which we fixed in the videos. I believe this was part 5. I'll put a link to it up here too. And for this existing motherboard and the CPU and actually pretty much the RAM, if you watch the video, was actually free. The profit on this thing was insane. So I gotta thank my editor Matthew. But it was super thank you to him for giving me it for free. The next PC is the 6th PC is the Deepcool Matrix 50 case, which is I think this is like one out of 2 cases. And this had a GTX 970 in it, and the GTX 970. This GTX 970 is pretty much the most infamous video on the channel right now. Like, if you guys seen the thumbnail, just legitimately me looking sad holding this graphics card. But then the next video after that, if you guys watched it, it was me fixing it, which I fixed it, and I still have it. I haven't installed it. And it's just legitimately been sitting on my table. It is still in one piece. It is still a bit rusty and it still has a broken HDMI screw thing. But this thing still works. The heat gun method did fix this GPU to fully working order. No artifacts, no glitches. This thing works perfectly fine now, which I'm super happy because I personally already been compensated for the money from other means like my grandparents. But this thing works now, so this thing can simply just go back on the shelf and enjoy a new life. We bought another GTX 970, 4GB of WindForce, and that guy was super chill, paid for the same price for it. So pretty much that PC was really good. This is another first time where this time I dropped this PC off in Albany, and telling you now, this is not going to be the first time. I do it multiple times in season 4. And yeah, it was to be honest, it was actually pretty convenient because, like, first off, if you still don't know, I have a Tesla Model 3 review. Maybe I don't know if the review's come out. I think the review's coming out super soon. So pretty much, if you guys watched the photography log, this was legitimately near the New Year's. So I think it's like the 28th. And as I tried to plan ahead, and plan my photography, like if you guys watched the photography vlog, I dropped off this PC in Albany and drove back to North Shore and did my photography, which for me worked out fine. It got some great shots. If you guys want to see my photography skills, you guys can go follow JoeZang07. I believe a link should be down below if I remember. And I don't really post on my photography account anymore, but that's JoeZang Photography. And most of the stuff, if you guys were interested, JoeZang Photography. The JoeZang Photography is mostly about just things I do at school because I mainly use my camera for school now and just YouTube channel. Okay, so this PC. This PC, I vividly remember, this was the 27th of January. This PC actually sold before this PC, so I don't know why I messed up the order of my script. But this was the RX 570 PC, and this was the one that had the weird LED switch thing, and with the Coolmoon RGB. That PC, to be honest, at this point, I was like, I was pretty much on the edge of like depression, I guess. I wouldn't say I was depressed, I was more like sad, because like, to be honest, in season 2, I was selling PCs like hotcake. I was selling them like I can list them and bang, next day will be sold, next 2 days will be sold within a week. But in this case, no, the season 3, season 4, it took me months and it takes a lot of desperate things to do. Especially because in looking back in retrospect, I rode that lockdown boredom wave hard. Like, people were so bored at home because of lockdown, and now because no more lockdowns, nobody really has the time to play games anymore, which which is just the result of the market. But the good thing is I cashed in on the market when I was high, and I lost maybe I didn't lose any money, but I wasn't making as much money when the market came down again. So this PC was i5. They all pretty much have i5 4590s, by the way. This is the case for pretty much every PC I sell from now on. Until this guy in Tonga runs out of i5 4590s, they all still have i5 4590s, which is kind of interesting. The i5 4590, by the way, if you watch the 8-year-old PC video, is a great CPU. It is a great. To be honest, it's aged surprisingly well. You can, to be honest, for all of you, even if you guys play games or do whatever, I still think the i5 4590 is enough for me, for you. But that's a bit hypocritical, as I got an M1 MacBook Pro. That's that review coming out soon. I believe review coming out sometime after I use it for a extended period of time. So this computer had an RX 570, which I also picked up in a park, which was also a bit sketchy. And luckily there was no scam there. And the guy I bought the card from didn't even know what a Tesla Model 3 was, and that legitimately in our community became a meme. Like, who doesn't know what a Tesla Model 3 is? They're like it was legitimately the best-selling car in New Zealand at one point. So that computer cost us $625 to build, and it sold for $800. And I only made a profit of $175. So that's the lowest profiting PC of the bunch. You win some and you lose some. To be honest, the only reason why you might think, why Joseph, why do you do PC flipping? And I'm always asked this question a lot. I mean, like maybe every other day. Why I do PC flipping? And the best reason I can give you is because PC flipping is a way to grow your money. I started from a school rubbish bin, and I built my way up to around now, probably around about $9,000-$10,000. That is the glory of PC flipping. It's pretty much just rolling a snowball. You start small, like this small, and you become super big. That is why PC flipping was so lucrative for me. And frankly, now PC flipping will still continue, of course, but I'm considering moving away from it. In a sense, we're ditching PC flipping in the dust. It's more of PC flipping, just imagine PC flipping as one line, and this line, and we're just diverging to other things. It's not going to be PC flipping to how I earn my money. It may even possibly be getting a real job. It may even possibly be investing in Bitcoin, stocks, pump and dumps. That's illegal, don't do that. Coming from the standpoint of Season 3, the market is definitely falling. The prices of PCs, to be honest, there isn't really a market for PCs on Facebook, frankly. The people who do it are just IT guys or people with IT skills who do it occasionally, like what I do. The thing is that the market, the GPU market is tough, okay? Last year I thought it'll crash by May. That prediction was wildly off. So pretty much, this is April, it's like here, like right here, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna crash. But what happened was it went skyrocketed up. It went insane. Like even like cards like I think the RX 6500 XT, RTX 3050, those cards don't even start to fix the market. Even those cards are inflated at PP Tech and at other stores. To be honest, the best value you'll get is definitely in the used market. It's unmatchable. The used market is you're always going to get the best value out of the used market. So if you're ever in the market to build a PC and you think you have the brains to, I would totally recommend going to used market. To be honest, the used market is great. I love the used market, frankly. This whole channel, this whole PC flipping is based on the used market. But the prices of graphics cards and inflation due to COVID and a lot of other things has made the price of graphics cards insanely high. It's legitimately the only thing that has grown in the past year. Prices of other things have grown, like for some reason power supplies did, but the market is somewhat crashing now. Before, we could see people listing 1050 Ti's for around over 300. Now we see them listed for around about 250, 225, and you can probably get one for around 200 now. So cheap prices. But the issue of that is that when prices of GPUs drop, it's also linear for computers. So pretty much I was selling computers at peak $900. That price may drop down to $800 and may drop down to $750. So that's that is what happens when the market drops. It's all linear. So for for season 4, I think Joseph Zhang Flips PCs has reached a plateau. This season, as I said before, is more of a cookie cutter. I buy stuff like i5 4590 PCs from Tauranga. I come back to Auckland, I put them into new cases, I put graphics cards into them, and I sell them. I feel like it's a bit cookie cutter. And I can't really promise this in season 4 because it's already been shot. But in season 5 of Joseph Zhang Flips PCs, that is when you'll see true and authentic PC flipping. In season 5, you'll see. I'm not gonna promise this, but I will do my best in season 5 of Joseph Zhang Flips PCs to not go buy in bulk and to not buy everything cookie cutter, like buying a bunch of cases like this season and slapping i5 4590 PCs. But when you watch season 4, I might have done something maybe a little bit worse, maybe a little bit better. But if you guys watch season 4, you guys will know what I mean. But anyways, to leave off this video, if you have any unanswered questions, please put them in the comments down below. Please DM me, please email me. I'm happy to answer all your questions. Anyways, thank you very much for watching this video. And before I go, here is a sneak peek to Joseph Zhang Flips PCs Season 4. And goodbye. So pretty much right now we have 6 GPUs,